OKC Thunder haven't even been champions for more than a day, at least at the time of recording, yet they are still arguably one of the most disrespected champions we have seen in recent times. And it's honestly really hilarious because for the amount of people out there saying that this is a hospital ring and they only went through injured teams, I hate to break it to you, but if there's any team that has a high chance at repeating or winning more championships in the future, maybe even becoming a dynasty, it's always going to be the OKC Thunder. And we knew this for some time. But I guess the whole conversation surrounding dynasties gets a little bit murky considering we are now in the parity era of the NBA. So maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video, or maybe an entirely different video to talk about that. But for right now, the most important thing that I want to talk about, I need to talk about in this video, is Game 7 itself. And you know what? If you're an OKC Thunder fan, I apologize for what I'm about to say, but the biggest thing in this game was the Tyrese Haliburton injury. And, you know, I need to make it very clear right now, I am going to give the OKC Thunder their flowers. I'm going to give them their credit in this video. What I'm about to discuss with the Tyrese Haliburton injury and going over that kind of stuff has nothing to do with, like, me trying to discredit what the Thunder did or the fact that they did win this game. So I'll get into that here in a bit, but for right now, we do need to talk about the very unfortunate Haliburton injury. It's unclear right now whether or not it was an Achilles tear, but it's pretty clear, and they even said themselves, it is something to do with the Achilles. I don't know if I want to show the clip, but you can very clearly see, like, you know, something in the Achilles going down. So anyways, it's safe to assume that it's an Achilles tear, and we might even know what it is by the time this video comes out. But this is probably the most unfortunate thing I have ever seen in my entire life of watching NBA basketball. And obviously it's hard because it's a player going down with such a big injury. Like, an Achilles tear is going to have him out for a majority of the next season as well. That is terrible. That is horrible in the first place, but it's also just like, growing up, you dream of a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Like, that is the ideal moment. There is no other moment bigger than that. Yeah, you dream of being in the NBA Finals in the first place. You dream of being, you know, one win away from a championship. But Game 7, so you dream of these moments, and for Tyrese to not only push his team to that Game 7 with his performance in Game 6, to not even really get the shot, man, to go out in the first quarter, especially after having such a good first quarter, knocking down 3 threes. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have the numbers up right here, but he led the game in 3-point shots made, even though he only played a small percentage of the first quarter. And that is the only reason why, to me, this game is a what if. I look at this game and think maybe it would have gone differently if Haliburton never went down. And once again, I do want to clarify, me imagining Haliburton being healthy and playing great in this game doesn't necessarily mean that it guarantees a Pacers win. There is a world out there where Haliburton is healthy and they still lose. Like, we will unfortunately never know what that outcome would be, but you gotta admit, whether you're an OKC Thunder fan or a fan of any other team in the league, this game would have been a lot closer, or would have been a lot better, or would have been a lot more thrilling and more entertaining. And it's not only because, like I said, you know, Haliburton went down and we don't know what it would look like if he was healthy. The fact that he was actually fucking insane when he was healthy and when he was on the floor makes it a lot harder to cope with. So it is unfortunate. I felt so bad. I still feel terrible for all the Pacers fans out there. They went through the craziest finals playoffs we have ever seen. For it to end like that, it was truly heartbreaking. And you know what, man, I also feel bad for the OKC Thunder fans because they worked so hard. They had themselves such a great season. They had a 60 something win year, went through the playoffs honestly like unscathed, didn't really go through anything, maybe besides the Nuggets series was really the only one where it was a little bit rocky. That one also went to a Game 7 as well, but it was like they really had themselves a solid playoff run, and all of that is getting boiled down to one game where the opposing star gets injured, and now everyone can say, oh yeah, but they wouldn't have won if Haliburton was healthy. But shit, they won the championship, so I guess I don't really feel bad. I don't know. I just know that if it was my team in this situation and I had people in my face right after winning a championship saying, oh yeah, well it doesn't count, I would be like, just shut the fuck up, please. But yeah, the OKC Thunder were the better team in this series, in this game, whatever it may be. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I know his shooting splits weren't good, and I got cooked for saying that he had himself a good game. I don't think a lot of people understand how kind of special it is to have your star player, your MVP, step up for a Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Like, a lot of these moments are moments where we see star players disappear. There are the times where we go, okay, you know, SGA disappeared, but J-Dub came through and stepped stepped up, or Alex Caruso played great. This game specifically, yes, there were moments where it was like, how are the OKC Thunder not pulling away from this one already? But they eventually did their thing. SGA was a huge catalyst for that moment. J-Dub did step up later in the game. Chet had some blocks. Alex Caruso did his thing. The entire team defensively did their thing. So yeah, game 7, congratulations to the OKC Thunder. They did their thing. But what does the future look like for the both of these teams? Now, of course, these are all my predictions, but when it comes to the Indiana Pacers, next year is going to be hell. I think anything would be bad when you look at the fact that they made the finals, and then you're going into next year. If they don't make the finals or have a deep playoff run again, it is going to be considered a failure. But Tyrese Haliburton being out with the torn Achilles is like actually the worst outcome that could ever come from anything. It's one thing if you played and was fully healthy and you got blown out in game 7 and you lost the finals, and you can say, all right, we can come back next year strong. This one, there's nothing. You not only lose the finals, but you lose your star player for the next season as well. Miles Turner also might be gone. Honestly, at this point, after seeing how he played in the finals, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care seeing him leave. But once again, I'm one of those people that even though the Pacers defied all odds and were the biggest underdog we've ever seen, and you know, we've learned to not doubt them. We learned to not go against the Indiana Pacers. My ass is looking at their next season thinking, yeah, there's nothing to be excited about. There is nothing to look forward to at all. And that just really sucks, man. My heart is with all those Pacers fans out there. I'm so sorry that the season has to end like this. It is just terrible. As for the OKC Thunder, my God, the high that they must be on is out of this world. You had people doubting SGA. You had people doubting J-Dub, Chet, everyone on this core. I said it in my prediction, which, by the way, I had the OKC Thunder winning the finals in my prediction. Everyone's saying, yeah, this team's too young. Team isn't experienced enough. There's no way. They don't have what it takes. And I would call it out every single time because I think that argument is the most stupid bullshit ever. I think it's the most bullshit way to just discredit a team and just say, you know, hey, I don't think they're good enough to win, is by saying like, oh, they're not old enough. They don't have enough experience. It is so bullshit. I'm so happy that the OKC Thunder were able to overcome that and defy those odds, because guess what? Now they're the second youngest team in NBA history to win a championship, going into next season with the same players, more draft capital, everything that they need to win it again. There is no reason why they can't go back to back besides the fact that the entire league is cooking up with more talent, whatever. There is nothing stopping them. They have gotten the peak of everything. The weight is lifted off their shoulders, especially for SGA. I can only imagine what it's like to go through all the stupid ass conversations surrounding him, whether it's free throw merchant, whether it's he doesn't play the game the right way, whatever the hell. To win a championship and an MVP in the same season, it's just like it put everything to bed. No one can say anything. You play winning basketball because you won yourself a ring. It's really just a celebration, even though in a couple of years, if they continue to win, I'm probably going to end up hating the fuck out of this team. I mean, I kind of didn't want them to win this finals in the first place, even though, like I said, I did predict it. I'm a big underdog guy, so yeah, I didn't really want them to win, but the chances of them continuing this legacy, continuing to build off this one championship, it just gets stronger and stronger. But at the same time, if you learn to appreciate their game, their defense especially, I mean, their offense in this series was terrible. If you learn to appreciate it for the game itself and not the entire like media or like NBA Twitter point of view, you will learn that this team is legendary and the NBA is in great hands. That was a big conversation like surrounding this season, was what's going to happen when KD, LeBron, and Steph retire. I really do think that we are good. The NBA just needs to learn how to pivot to promoting these younger stars, but we saw it this year. Young talent, new stars, new whatever. They are ready for this moment. That being said, this video is one of the more laid back ones that I've ever done. I don't know how long it is. I know it was just me rambling literally the entire time, but I just needed to get my thoughts out of my head and put it into video format for you guys, because honestly, my favorite part about making these videos is reading your guys' comments down in the comments below. So go down there and put in all your thoughts and opinions, whether it's on the finals, the playoffs, next season, whatever it may be. I read and respond to everybody, so go ahead and do that. While you're down there, if you want to hit the like and subscribe button, that does help out the channel a ton. I will still be making videos all off season. I mean, we have the NBA draft here in a couple of days, so you will want to be subscribed so you know what's going on in the NBA during the off season. That being said, hopefully you guys all enjoyed. I can't believe this is the end of the NBA season. Oh man, that's a little sad. That just kind of hit me right now. But anyways, I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.